Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. In the previous lecture, we talked about normal chromosome in human. Today, we will talk about abnormal chromosomes, or called chromosomal anomalies. The learning objectives of this lecture are the following. Define the terms karyotype, autosomal, and sex chromosomes. Learn the terms used to describe the abnormalities in chromosomal numbers, such as polyploidy and aneuploidy. Aneuploidy including trisomy and monosomy and mosaicism and their causing mechanisms. Summarize the causes of the polyploidy and aneuploidy. Recognize the common autosomal and sex chromosome aneuploidy. The abnormal chromosomes can be classified into two types: numerical aberrations, that including aneuploidy and polyploidy. Other type called structural aberrations, as well as presence of different cell lines, or called mosaicism, can be result from structural or numerical aberration. The aberration of the chromosome number, or called numerical aberrations. Human karyotype is abnormal if the number of the chromosome is not 46, or if individual chromosomes have extra or missing chromosome. Abnormal chromosomes account for at least 50% of the spontaneous abortions. Therefore, most embryos and fetus with abnormal chromosomes stop developing before birth. فإذا الشذوذ الكروموسومي هو تكون إذا كان الكاريوتايب هو يعتبر غير طبيعي إذا كان أكثر أو أقل من 46 كروموسوم. معظم هذا النوع من الشذوذ تحدث في أثناء تطور الأمبريو أو الجنين، لذلك يتوقف النمو أو التطور ويموت قبل الولادة. Aneuploidy refer to a normal chromosome number. For example, diploid number in autosomes, that's mean aneuploidy, and haploid number in gametes, also called aneuploidy. يعني الإيوبلويدي هو يشير إلى العدد الطبيعي للكروموسومات سواء كان هابلويد أو ديبلويد number. The first type of the numerical aberration is polyploidy. That's mean having a multiple of the parental chromosome number instead of the diploid number. يعني إيش نقصد هنا؟ بالدبلويد نمبر معناتها 46 كروموسومز أو 23 زوج، يصبح بالبوليبلويدي 92 كروموسومز أو 46 زوج بدل الدبلويد نمبر اللي هو 46 أو 23 كروموسوم. How the polyploidy arises? The chromosome sets can arise in the several ways. First, error in the meiosis following fertilization, that it is called endoreduplication. What's the meaning of endoreduplication? In endoreduplication, the cytokinesis fails to occur in the last stage of the cell of mitosis. The result will be diploid gamete. The fusion between this unbalanced gamete and normal gamete will produce triploidy zygote. المقصود بالإندوريدبليكيشن هو فشل في عملية السيتوكينيسيس التي تحدث بآخر طور التيلوفيز، وبالنتيجة راح تتكون لنا خلية بنوية مع وجود نواتين، يعني كل نواة راح تحتوي لنا على الهابلويد نمبر اللي هو 23 كروموسوم، بالمجموع راح تكون 46 كروموسوم. هذا يعني بأن الجميت يحتوي على diploid number. The fusion between this unbalanced gamete راح تنتج لنا بدل الدبلويد number راح تنتج لنا zygote with triploid. The second reason, errors in the meiosis during gamete formation. An error in meiosis 1 can result in the failure of the homologous chromosomes to separate, producing diploid gamete after meiosis 2. Or, in meiosis 2, if all the chromosomes move to the same pool after centromere separation, diploid gamete will also result. السبب الآخر لحدوث البوليبلويدي هو أخطاء في الميوسيس 1 والميوسيس 2. فعند حدوث الخطأ في الميوسيس 1 وهو فشل جميع الكروموسومات المتشابهة بالانعزال عن بعضها البعض، وبذلك تنتج لنا جميت هو تكون ديبلويد أو T2N يحتوي على نسختين من الكروموسوم بدل نسخة واحدة. أما إذا حدث الخلل بعد الميوسيس 2 الانقسام الميوسي الثاني، فإن بعد انفصال السنترومير فالكروماتيدات أو الكروموسومات تتجه جميعها إلى أحد القطبين، وبذلك تنتج خلايا تحتوي على الديبلويد جميت diploid number of the chromosomes، وجميتات أخرى لا تحتوي على أي من هذه الكروموسومات. The other causes of polyploidy occurs at fertilization due to phenomenon called dispermy, in which the fertilization of the haploid egg by the two haploid sperm, as a result, form triploidy zygotes. Triploidy account for 17% of the spontaneous abortions. Very rarely an infant survives as long as a few days with defects in nearly all organs. And this picture shows infant with a triploidy karyotypes. The other type of numerical aberration is called aneuploidy. What's the meaning of aneuploidy? Is the addition or deletion of the individual chromosomes from the normal diploid set of 46 chromosomes. Most autosomal aneuploidies are spontaneously aborted. Those that survive have specific syndromes with symptoms depending on which chromosomes is missing or extra. There are many types of aneuploidy. Either trisomy, that's mean 22N plus 1 to form 47 chromosomes, or tetrasomy, 2N plus 2, that's mean 48 chromosomes. Monosomy, that mean loss of one chromosomes, 2N minus 1 to form 45 chromosomes. Or duplicate monosomy, that mean 44 chromosomes, the diploid number minus 2 chromosome or missing 2 chromosomes. Or called nullsomy. Nullsomy different from the duplicate monosomy. If the homologous chromosomes are lost، يعني نفس الكروموسومات الهومولوجس كروموسوم في نفس الشخص يفقدها مع بعض فيسمى بالنلسومي. لكن إذا الكروموسوم أحدهما الهومولوجس كروموسوم جاية من الأب ولا من الأم يفقد واحد من الأب واحد من الأم يسموه بالدبليكيت مونوسومي. This image shows the trisomy and diploid number and monosomy. How the aneuploidy arises. The chief causes of the aneuploidy is a mistake in meiotic division or mitotic division, leading to unequal distribution of the one pair of the homologous chromosomes to the daughter cells. This figure shows the normal meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. As a result, forming of 4 daughter cells each of which containing haploid number. This kind of error is called non-disjunction. That means failure of the mated pair to segregate. If the non-disjunction occurs at second meiotic division, produced two gametes containing or lacking of the identical chromosome. That means one of the gametes containing 24 chromosomes and the other missing one chromosome. After the meiosis 1 and meiosis 2 leading to 4 daughter cells, 2 of them abnormal and the other normal with a haploid number. How many of the abnormal cells are produced if the non-disjunction occurs at the first meiotic division? All the 4 daughter cells are abnormal, as shown in this figure. 2 of them with extra chromosomes, that means n+1, the number of the chromosomes being 24, and the other daughter cells also abnormal with missing 1 chromosomes, that means n-1, to form 22 chromosomes. In human, Down syndrome is an example for the numerical aberrations. Down syndrome is generally characterized by the person with a Down syndrome usually have 3 copies of the chromosome number 21 as appear in this karyotype. يعني وجود 3 نسخ من كروموسوم رقم 21 بدل نسختين. هي المفروض فقط نسختين، نسخة من الأم ونسخة من الأب. The karyotype is written as 47 chromosomes plus 21 chromosomes. The other features of the Down syndrome person are mental retardation, distinctive palm prints, wide, round face, and extra fold of the upper eyelids, and long with enlarged tongue make it difficult for a person to speak. The aneuploidy also occurs in sex chromosomes. Before we explain the numerical aberration of the sex chromosomes, we have to explain the sex determination in the human beings. The sperm and egg carrying the sex chromosomes and also 22 autosomes. The offspring, either male or female, depending on whether they receive an X or Y chromosomes from the male parent. After meiosis, the XY chromosomes separate and go into the different sperm cells. Half of them carry X chromosome and the other carry Y chromosomes. All the eggs are produced from the mother have X chromosome. When the fertilization between these eggs and sperms form half of them with female and the other half with male. The Y chromosome has the main sex-determining gene on it, called SRY gene. About 4 weeks after fertilization, an embryo that contains SRY gene. SRY gene responsible for develops testes, the primary male sex organ. The testes secrete the hormone testosterone. Testosterone signals the other cells of the embryo to develop in the male pattern. If the embryo does not have the SRY gene, it develops ovaries instead, which secrete estrogen and causes development in the female pattern. In one experiment, when the SRY injected into the normal female mice XX, that leads to develop as males instead of females, but this males sterile. The other gene located on Y chromosome adjacent to the SRY gene, that it is called ZFY. ZFY is a protein interact with DNA, coding for testis determining factor, responsible for controls the initiation of the sperm cells development but not maleness. Non-disjunction also takes place in the sex chromosomes as in autosomes. Can be identified the non-disjunction in sex chromosomes by the sex-chromatin, or called bar body, in the equation nx-1. What are the results of the non-disjunction in oogenesis and spermatogenesis? During the oogenesis can lead to an egg with either 2 eggs or no eggs. Also, the non-disjunction of the sex chromosomes during the spermatogenesis can result in sperm that has no sex chromosome, or both X and Y chromosome, or 2 X chromosomes, or both Y chromosomes. There are many examples in human about aneuploidy in sex chromosomes, such as Klinefelter, Jacobs, triple X or triple X, and Turner syndrome. Klinefelter syndrome is an example on aberration of the sex chromosome, characterized by the following: phenotypically males, genitalia are undeveloped, so the person nearly sterile، يعني الأعضاء التناسلية تكون غير متطورة لذلك يكون عقيم. Their limbs are longer than average. Secondary sexual characters are little developed. أيضا الصفات الجنسية الثانوية تكون غير متطورة. The person is usually of the normal intelligence. Klinefelter syndrome is an example on aberration of the sex chromosome. The patient characterized by the following: the patients are sex-chromatin positive. These patients have extra chromosome X, that's mean 47 chromosome, including a normal Y chromosome. The karyotype of this patient is written as 47XXY. That means the presence of extra chromosome X. The occurrence about 1 in 1,000 male. Why the sex-chromatin positive? The sex-chromatin positive due to the presence of extra X chromosome. When the applying of this equation in X minus 1 result 1 bar body instead of 0 in the normal male karyotype. Other example called Turner syndrome, characterized by the following: phenotypically female. Turner's syndrome, females are short stature and webbing of the neck. تتميز التيرنر syndrome بأنها female. كذلك من مميزات التيرنر syndrome هو قصر القامة وكذلك الرقبة. Have congenital renal anomalies and cardiac anomalies, and lack of the development of the secondary sexual characteristic, usually normal intelligence. Ovaries never become functional. The patient with Turner syndrome is chromatin negative. Why the sex chromatin is negative? Due to the absence of the one of X chromosomes. When the applying of the equation in X minus 1, the result is 0 or no chromatin or no bar body. The karyotype formula is 45XO. Other example, XYY or Jacob syndrome. Is characterized by an extra copy of the chromosome Y in each of the male cells. The males with this condition typically do not have unusual physical features and usually have normal sexual development. الأشخاص التي تسمى بالجيكوب syndrome أو XYY تتميز بنسخة إضافية من كروموسوم Y في كل خلية. كذلك الذكور في هذه الحالة لا يظهر عليهم أي صفات جسدية غير طبيعية، كذلك يكون أن التطورات الجنسية تكون طبيعية، فقط هنالك زيادة في كروموسوم X وكروموسوم Y. Signs and symptoms vary widely among affected males and may include being taller than average, adolescent bit, an increased risk of the learning disabilities. نلاحظ في الأشخاص المصابين بالجيكوب syndrome هنالك بعض العلامات أو الأعراض تكون تتباين ما بين شخص وآخر. من هذه الأعراض ممكن أن يكون أطول، نسبة الطول أطول من المعدل الطبيعي. كذلك ممكن أن يكون هنالك حبوب في الوجه، زيادة الحبوب في الوجه، أو ممكن أن تكون هنالك خطر في صعوبات التعلم learning disabilities. Other symptoms: delayed speech and language skills، يعني تأخر في النطق ومهارات اللغوية أو التكلم. Delayed motor skills such as sitting and walking، كذلك التأخر في المهارات الحركية كالجلوس والمشي. And weak muscle tone or called hypotonia، ضعف بالعضلات.